All right, so this morning I was at the restaurant for breakfast and I had a rather unpleasant experience. The staff was very unattentive, seemed to be very disinterested, did not make eye contact, and served me from behind without even basically, interacting with me as a person being there. And also, I had to literally call for their attention because they would just walk past me without noticing that I am ready to order. So then my instinct was, well, I want to leave them a review on Google Maps, but I don't like leaving bad reviews because I want to foster positivity rather than negativity. So I was like, okay, so what can I do? And then I came up with the idea, well, I just send them an email. So then I don't have to leave a public negative review. And I just describe in the email what happened. Now, my first draft of the email was that they were like zombies, that they were sleepwalking past me, and that only when I asked the waitress, "How are you?" She seemed to wake up for a moment. And then I always run this through ChatGPT or any AI for that matter and see what it comes up with. And it corrected me, which I'm grateful for because apparently it's not a good idea to talk like this. Even though I do feel that we live in a zombie society where basically people are asleep, people hate their jobs, people are in this slave mentality, right? That they do things that they don't want to do because they get paid for it and they have to pay their bills, and like the whole system is skewed, if you will. So then it gave me a much better version to address the issues without being aggressive, without insulting them and stuff like that. So I sent that email to them. And to my surprise, I got an actual reply saying that the person was on the floor and that they apparently noticed already that there was not a lot of presence going on with their staff. So she told me that they scolded them. And I was like, yeah, but that's also not really my intention. I don't know. And the person asked me to give me more details, like which table I sat and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I don't want to single out a person and then, make them the scapegoat or unload my frustration on them or something like this, because I believe that this fact that they did not show presence is already a result of the environment and the society we live in, because I believe people do strive for excellence and do want to make a good job if they are in the proper environment and if they do what they love doing. So it's not really also their fault in that sense, even though, of course, personal responsibility is important. But it's also like something general is already off. So I don't think by scolding people you improve anything. You have to think about what can be changed in the environment as such, and maybe you have to let go of some people because they are just not in the right environment and they actually don't want to do this job. So then they have to do something else, right? Because it's not that you have to force people into doing things that they don't want. That doesn't make sense to begin with. You cannot establish a good service from this basis of people doing things that they hate. That makes no sense. So then I posted that review into, that reply into ChatGPT and responded from that space. And I'm very happy about this. So because this goes hand in hand with something that I have contemplated another time when I had a weird experience with a gym in another country that I had paid the membership, a monthly membership, But I got blocked access. Each time I wanted to enter, the automatic access with the chip card would not work. So the staff had to press a button to let me in each time. I was just like, okay, whatever. I don't know why that is. But eventually I found out that the reason is that I paid with credit card and that I don't have a bank account in that country. That doesn't make sense to me. So I was like, well, what can be done with this? And then I came up with the idea of system upgrades. I thought, well, I create a database for myself silently first and think about what would be a better solution, because I do believe in vibration. I do believe like that this reality is way more malleable than we think it is, because everything comes from consciousness to begin with, right? So I was like, okay, first the change has to happen within me. Like I have to understand what would be a better solution, not just lashing out and dumping all my anger and frustration onto the current system that is broken, and because that doesn't fix anything. We have to build better systems in parallel with the current system that are just so much better that people automatically will join the new. Like if you're old enough, you probably remember Alta Vista, the search engine, which was bad, but it was the only one that you could actually find stuff on the internet. And then Google came along, and soon after, nobody would use Alta Vista anymore because you would not find stuff, so you would just use Google. Very simple. So this is what we have to do, right? So then I imagined, well, what better system would there be? And I talked to ChatGPT about this. And it's obvious, like if you have paid access for something, you should be granted access. So you have a membership, they should just let you in. It's very simple. And the funny thing is that without me actually talking to the staff at the gym, magically, soon after, it was fixed and I just had access. So I just want to encourage you, instead of leaving negative reviews on products and services and lashing out all your frustration and anger, think about how can you improve the situation? What within you can you change that actually makes the world a better place? And there is a little spoiler here that is actually very easy to understand. If you are angry, that cannot be the solution, because you don't want to build another world that comes from anger, do you? Or from stress or frustration. Like in the new world that you actually want, you don't want to insert any negative vibration whatsoever, do you? So this is my contribution for today. I hope this helped in some way, shape, or form. Have a good day.